Let's talk about the benefits that you
So, I mean, I think just off the top, anytime you have an opportunity for young people to meet and communicate with one another, teamwork and collaboration and communication is an awesome benefit that comes up right away. And we see that when you put kids on teams, they begin to interact differently. They begin to strategize differently. And so some of those kind of just basic benefits of just being able to communicate and create a sense of collaboration and belonging for team are just very, very natural, benefits.
All right, so I'm Dr. Colin Zhu. We are here on the Thrive Bites podcast, and we are here at the Best You EXPO at LA Convention Center. And why don't you introduce yourself and tell the audience what you do and what you represent?
Sure, my name is Shaon Berry. I'm the CEO of a company called Metro Esports, and Metro Sports and Entertainment Group for the longer version. And we do a lot of things, but most often we do production around esports events. We create technology-based education programs, STEM, coding, programming, game designs, and we try to aggregate, large communities of young people and older people trying to figure life out with, career, academic, and professional career opportunities, and just try to tie them into an industry that's really growing and flourishing, and we try to find good avenues for people to go.
And why is that important for, you personally to kind of work in this space?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've always had a passion for working with and helping young people, right? And so for me, it used to be the traditional sports route. So I would create, showcase opportunities for young athletes that were interested in, matriculating and going to college and those kinds of things. And about 5 years ago, I made the switch from transition from traditional sports to esports, just because I thought so many kids are playing. So many kids play video games, and there's so many benefits in the industry that people aren't even aware of. And you don't have to be 6'5" or 300 pounds to be great in the industry, whether you're a coder or a programmer or a game designer or something else. And so I wanted to pick something that was realistic, and gave people a real future.
What were the video games that you played with growing up?
So for me, it was like Madden, man. I was a big Madden guy, and then the NCAA, had NCAA football, and I always had this dream or passion of I want to be the guy on the screen that's playing me, and that kind of thing. So, and now kids get to have that. But that was my thing.
That was awesome. If I didn't have Super Mario Kart going through college, I wouldn't have been able to get through it.
That's right.
Just me and my best friend in college.
That's right.
So, tell us about you mentioned about benefits.
Yeah.
When you think of video games, you think of parenting, you think of, school, they think of, video games as if like a quote unquote bad alternative. Right.
Parents call it a waste of time.
Let's talk about the benefits that you see.
So, I mean, I think just off the top, anytime you have an opportunity for young people to meet and communicate with one another, teamwork and collaboration and communication is an awesome benefit that comes up right away. And we see that when you put kids on teams, they begin to interact differently. They begin to strategize differently. And so some of those kind of just basic benefits of just being able to communicate and create a sense of collaboration and belonging for team are just very, very natural, benefits. I think when you go beyond that and you start to think about what are some of the benefits that the industry offers, well, there's a ton of jobs, right? And they mirror STEM in a lot of ways. So, coding and programming and graphic designer and AR and VR and all those kind of stuff are benefits. But the biggest benefit, or at least the biggest value benefit in my mind, is being able to aggregate and engage a community of young people that feel lost. Depression's at an all-time high, anxiety is at an all-time high, suicide is at an all-time high. And so when you have these marginalized communities that are seeking refuge in a gaming community, Fortnite or Call of Duty or whatever it is that there's a proclivity or an interest for, these pockets of communities develop where it's safe to just be you, right? To talk about the game, to share your love for the game or your passion. And these communities develop out of nowhere, and some of them are massive. And it's really this unification around a game that becomes much broader in terms of the benefits from it.
What are some of the highlights that's more recently have you guys accomplished? I guess on a one-on-one as a kid, from a kid's perspective, what have you seen with the kids?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we've seen is young people migrate from the game to actually learning how to make the game, right? And an interest in, hey, how do I build that computer, right? I love playing Fortnite, what does that look like in terms of what the developers do?
The back end.
Right. And so, helping them develop an interest in the things that matter beyond just playing the game are something that we see regularly. Our Minecraft and coding classes doubled after the kids said, hey, I started here gaming and I want to learn and do other things.
Right, so it opens up more job opportunities,
For sure.
more opportunities for work that maybe they didn't even think of before because of this route and network that you've created.
Yeah, I have a partnership with Verizon, and quite frankly, they're interested in techies. And techies come in all shapes and sizes, right?
Like what's categorized as a techie?
Right, a techie is somebody who, listen, you don't have to have a college degree to be a programmer or a coder. In fact, they're not even a requirement anymore when you think about the Googles and the VaynerMedias and Warner Brothers and some of the larger institutions.
So no GED doesn't mean not to be necessary.
Right, it is just having the aptitude, right? And what better place to start with gaming to trying to find somebody that has that, that CGI or that, computer science interest. And so it really translates and migrates.
What was the original goal that you set out? Did you accomplish it? And what is the next phase for you?
Yeah, so the original goal, I think, for me was just to develop a kind of a foundational offering of services and products. And so I've accomplished that. We have 5 locations now. We're on 2 college campuses on the East Coast, and we're continuing to scale south and then eventually west. But I think in terms of future interest, ideally what I'd love to do is to create this network, almost like an Indeed, if you would, of people that got into an industry because of gaming, were able to identify other talents, whether it's broadcast engineering or being able to develop or design or draw, whatever those things are, and then become a bigger conduit to employment opportunities and kind of helping to bridge that gap.
Nice. So if I guess parents or companies want to seek you out, what's the best way to find you?
Yeah, I think the easiest thing, right, is our website is metroesports.gg. For those that don't know, when you see GG, it stands for good game, right? And just hit us up. I'm super accessible on LinkedIn and Twitter, and we're an easy follow.
Nice.
Our idea is, and our agenda is about improving the community. And so if we grow and scale and provide, partner benefit through that, then all the better.
Yeah, because I think with community, with collaboration, with togetherness is where we can kind of push the needle forward and move forward as a society.
Sure.
So thank you so much for doing what you do.
Thanks
Much
for the
success
time.
to you.
Appreciate it.